Founded in 1921, the National Honor Society recognizes outstanding high school students and encourages them to build positive character traits. The goal of its members is to develop and display scholarship, leadership, and character, as well as the ability to render service to others around them. Tonight, we are gathered here to formally recognize those students who will be inducted as new members of the Celina High School chapter of the National Honor Society. We hope this will remind all current and former members who may be among our guests the standard of excellence that you are entrusted with maintaining as members of this prestigious student recognition program. We will now review the 4 qualities of service standards of the National Honor Society.
The first quality is scholarship. Those with this quality strive to excel and display their abilities in the classroom. Although they may not always succeed, they are always expected to work hard and always try their best. Scholarship is not only important in education, but also in the workforce and everyday life. To display scholarship is to promote a successful future, always learning from your experiences. The knowledge you gain now will help you prepare for your life outside of Celina High School.
The second quality is leadership. A leader is not afraid to take charge and lead by example. While there are many ways to be a leader, each one goes above and beyond the requirements for the betterment of others, earning the respect of their peers. National Honor Society members are expected to show qualities of leadership in the classroom, on the court or field, in the work environment, and in the community. It is your duty to act on your potential as a leader.
The third quality is character. The behavior that one displays when no one is watching reveals the true reflection of his or her character. As a member of the National Honor Society, you're expected to display honesty, trust, care, respect, and responsibility when acting as a volunteer, employee, or student. You are to put forth your best effort to reflect these traits.
The fourth quality is service. As a member, you are expected to go above and beyond to help others. Service is more than the action of doing work for others. It is a state of mind. It is a mindset that one will try their best to improve the conditions around them and the people around them. You must display compassion and drive in your service as a member of the National Honor Society.
Tonight, we would like to welcome Mr. Aaron Bowser as our guest speaker. He has been teaching here at the high school for 22 years. Many of us have had him in class, and we appreciate his dedication to his students. Please welcome Mr. Aaron Bowser.
So relieved I didn't have to light those candles. It was a lot of work. First, let me express what a privilege it is to address you all today. I was truly humbled by the request that I share a few words and wondered what I could possibly say to such an esteemed group of scholars. I thought about what I've learned since the days that I walked these halls as a student just a few years ago. As a parent, I reflected on what I would want my children to hear as they prepare for what lies ahead after graduation. The more that I thought about it, the more burdened I felt. In our society, it's not uncommon to hear references to future generations, especially by older folks. Maybe it's even become easy for us to casually dismiss those words as empty rhetoric. I believe, however, that they are loaded. They represent worry, expectation, and hope from a generation coming to grips with its own mortality and the realization that the torch must inevitably be passed. So after much reflection, this is what I decided to share with you. Let me begin by addressing one of my greatest fears, apathy. Many would debate the meaning of life, but one inescapable truth revealed to us by history is that people and cultures are capable of accomplishing great things. Awe-inspiring feats of engineering, works of art and literature, models of organization, powers of scientific observation and deduction, and accounts of personal sacrifice for the greater good all contribute to the landscape of time. Civilizations have risen throughout the ages upon the backs of men and women who dared to devote their energies to accomplish that which once seemed unthinkable or impossible. Nevertheless, all civilizations fall into decline, and many are lost forever to the sands of time. As a teacher of American history and American government, my heart swells at times when I reflect on American values, American innovation, and American sacrifice. I truly believe with all my heart that we are blessed beyond measure to live in a country and to live in this country and enjoy its bounty. Still, I'm gripped by the awareness that it won't last if we become idle and content to simply savor the contributions of past generations. We must press on to ensure that our civilization remains vibrant and that our republic does not fall on our watch. All of us here carry the torch. We must not drop it. Why does apathy consume civilizations? Maybe distractions emerge that undermine our focus and cloud our vision of what yet may be. The TV, the cell phone, social media, could these be the harbingers of our destruction? Maybe, but I suspect it's more than these. A fear of failure may tempt us to insulate ourselves, to devote our energies to leisure and distraction instead of substantive purpose. Having said this, let me make a confession. You are looking at failure, and make no mistake, I'm good at it. While it's never easy to admit something like this, it's tempered by the fact that I'm surrounded by failures. To be human is to fail. Now, failure is a hard teacher, and sometimes we may be tempted to hold back and avoid challenges just to escape embarrassment and shame. We all experience this, but one of our finest presidents said, "Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failures, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat." Who said that? That would be Teddy Roosevelt. So then, how do we respond to inevitable failures? We must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try again. We must not succumb to the temptation to quit when things get hard. We will face trials, fatigue, and self-doubt, but we must run the race to win. When I look at the young men and women here today, I don't see any quitters. I see people who have fallen flat on their face, but who found the strength and determination to get back to work. Keep that spirit. Make it a defining characteristic of your identity, and you will go far. You will encounter people in your journey that humble you. There will always be others that are smarter or more naturally gifted than you. These things you cannot control. What you can control is the time and effort and dedication that you devote to your endeavors. Always remember that work ethic is the great equalizer. Take care of business, and no one will deny your value. Are you with me? As for your future endeavors, if your path leads you to college, remember that a degree is only useful if it prepares you for a real career that pays the bills. The diploma is just a piece of paper that you will probably lose by your third move. College is about stretching you and molding you for self-sufficiency in your life's work. Anything less is a waste of your, and may I add your parents' resources. In choosing a career, do what you love, what you're passionate about, and what pays the bills, and pursue it with all vigor. As you strive for excellence in your studies and career, take time to renew yourself, living keenly aware of the wonders around you. Set aside time to smell the roses, or hyacinths as my wife favors. Savor a good meal and be entertained by the antics of that crazy squirrel in your backyard. Enjoy fellowship with friends and family. Participate in civil, though spirited debate with someone who sees the world differently than do you. When you are wrong, have the humility to admit it, to say so. Don't make excuses, just own up to it. When you don't have the answers, don't make something up. Have the courage to admit it and seize an opportunity to learn something new. Hold no grudges. Forgive your enemies. Life is too short to alienate others. Understand that people can be friends, good friends, even though they don't share the same philosophy or political values. And while we're on the subject, never think more highly of yourself than your neighbor. Be respectful of others, regardless of their station in life. The greatest man that ever lived said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." If we all did that, think how great life would be. Stan Lee of comic book fame once wrote, "With great power comes great responsibility." NHS members, you are among the best and brightest Celina has to offer. I see a lot of potential superheroes with a great deal of power seated before me today. Therefore, set high the bar of personal expectation. Demand the most of yourselves, and strive for excellence in everything you do. Give back to your community and your country. Live to serve. Leave behind something better for posterity. Raise up a generation to whom you will be proud to one day pass the torch. To quote Teddy Roosevelt one last time, "A soft, easy life is not worth living if it impairs the fiber of brain and heart and muscle. We must dare to be great. And we must realize that greatness is the fruit of toil and sacrifice and high courage. For us is the life of action, of strenuous performance of duty. Let us live in the harness, striving mightily. Let us rather run the risk of wearing out than rusting out." So, take up the torch. Carry it with honor and humility. Run to win, and always finish strong.
Thank you, Mr. Bowser, for sharing with us this evening. We would now like to recognize the new members of the Celina High School chapter of the National Honor Society. Please come forward as your name is called and remain on the stage until all of the names are complete. Please hold your applause until the end. Ella DeLong, Caleb Seward, McKenna Ashmore, Olivia Felber, Austin Kuntz, Alice Poor, Haley Seacrest, Alexa Arnold, Kaylin Avers, Allison Berry, Natalie Braun. Medina Davlaboyeva. Jack Duncan. Nicole Fennig. Kylie Giesecke. Quade Gilmore. George Gramza. Ben Grieber. Emma Guggenbiller. Zachary Hirsch. Violet Houston. Chloe Johnsman. Mackenzie Lehman. Ashley Lorridge. Maria Lutz. Rose McGowan. Madison Meeker. Emma Manshofer. Ella Metzger. Mason Muther. Kennedy Newell. Aiden Schmidt. Logan Seitz. Cynthia Sheets. Courtney Stockler. Andrea Vian. Mitchell Weitz. And Maggie Zhang. We will now recognize our one-year members of the Celina High School chapter of the National Honor Society. Please come forward as your name is read and remain on the stage until all certificates have been received. Again, hold your applause till the end. Lauren Anderson. Emily Braun. Allison Brown. Ellie Bruce. Kenzie Kahn. Briley Cox. Ryan Daniel. Abdullah Davlaboyev. Corey Fortcamp. Grace Davis. Peyton Gurman. Connor Glass. Elizabeth Harding. Lauren Higgins. Carissa Hoyne. Tyler Johnson. Madison Keeney. Ethan Lee. Sierra Maxwell. Avery Metzger. Jordan Muther. Luke Mullenkamp. Brandon Knoll. John Robinson. Jonathan Schaefer. Caitlin Smith. Rebecca Stein. Fletcher Straw. Madeline Sudoff. Emma Sweeney. Megan Tester. And Chase Wolford. We'll now recognize our 2-year members of Celina High School chapter of the National Honor Society. Please come forward as your name is read to receive your certificate and remain on stage until all the names are complete. And again, we'll hold our applause till the end. Ashley Allen. Joseph Baltzell. Cassandra Berkey. Kyler Bourne. Lauren Coverly. Caston Eichenauer. Graham Gower. Lillian Gramza. Ethan Kersey. Maya Lockwood. Madeline Lupke. Emma Lutz. Taylor Maurer. Megan Morton. Logan Mullenkamp. Haley Segrist. Brooke Robbins. Shelby Sinclair. Caleb Straw. Samuel Thompson. Kendra Truesdale. Grant Wagner. Michaela Wenning.
At this time, we ask that all members hold out their candles. The officers will light the 2-year member candles, who will then turn and light the candles of the younger members. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I am selected, striving in every way my work and deed to make its ideals the ideals of high school and life. Thank you. You may blow out your candles and be seated.
I would like to thank our members for their efforts on behalf of NHS, and especially those that went above and beyond this year. Please hold your applause until the end. If you helped with a stadium cleanup or helped fold letters and stuff envelopes for the Giving Thanks dinner, please stand and be recognized. You may be seated. If you helped make and deliver Student of the Month candy bags or did tutoring this year, please stand and be recognized. You may be seated. If you helped sell poinsettias or chocolate bars to raise money for Imagination Library and our NHS chapter, please stand and be recognized. You may be seated. I would like to especially thank 2 outstanding salespeople. Our high seller for poinsettias was Madeline Lupke, and Mr. Fletcher Straw sold over 240 candy bars. All right, this year our members completed over 3,000 hours of service to NHS, the school, and the community. Many of you have helped with these activities or witnessed our members donate their time to many causes. Before we get to our scholarship winners, I would like to say thank you to 3 of our members. Joe Boltzell, Kyler Bourne, and Kasten Eichenauer. Will you please stand? These 3 young men have displayed qualities this year that I think demonstrate exactly the type of students involved in National Honor Society. If you read the newspaper, you may have seen that Joe put together a seminar for our female senior students to learn some basic self-defense techniques to try and help protect themselves as they go off to college. Kasten was also noted for his willingness to lead the national anthem when the recorded version wouldn't work during a game he was announcing. And for those of you who don't know Kyler, he just moved to Celina this year as a senior. That would be tough for any high school student, but he has participated in our activities, school sports, and completed over 200 hours of service this past year, so I am very happy that he joined our group. Thank you, gentlemen, for representing us so well. At this time, we would like to recognize 2 other members for their dedication to service during their time in NHS. This year's scholarship winners are Lauren Coverly and Madeline Lukey. Please come forward. The installation of a new group of officers is an important and serious occasion. New members, you have indicated your faith and trust in your elected officers for the coming year. Their service and accomplishments depend largely on your cooperation. Following is as important as leading. In any organization, there comes a time when some lead for a while and others follow. At this time, we would like to announce the officers for the 2019-2020 school year. Retiring officers, please step forward as your name is called and light a candle symbolic of the flaming torch of freedom and knowledge. Let this remind us to bear forward in search of the light of truth so we can lead others to follow the light. We thank you for working with patient care and making dark ways bright. We will start with public relations. Emma Lutz will be succeeded by Abdullah Davlaboyeva. Treasurer. Maya Lockwood will be succeeded by Emma Sweeney. Secretary. Logan Molenkamp will be succeeded by Luke Molenkamp. Vice President. Maddie Lukey will be succeeded by John Robinson. And President. They did request that Joe run for another term. However, Joe will be succeeded by Connor Glass. New officers. In accepting these offices, you have indicated your willingness to give your time and effort to carry out principles of the National Honor Society. Yours is the greatest responsibility as well as a privilege. Our world today needs faith and efficient leaders, and your school is looking to you to lead its students. With this in view, do you pledge your best efforts to those offices you now accept? If so, please answer, we do.
We do.
Congratulations to all members as well as our new officers. Thank you, family, friends, and staff for your support throughout the year and for attending tonight.